Good morning and welcome to Studio C70 at the Committee of 70. Next month, we got Election Day. Big election, primary election, May 21st. Just 21 days away now. Elections are like job interviews. The candidates are like the job applicants. The voters are like that hiring committee. We've been interviewing city council and city commissioner candidates for the past couple of days. This morning, we have Mark Russ running for city council at large. Welcome, Mark. How are you?
Welcome. I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Let's dig right into it. We only have 15 minutes.
Right.
So the first big question, why are you running?
Well, I'm running because like as you said, I was born and raised in North Philadelphia. And there's a lot of things going on now in my community. I'm in the Temple University community. There's a lot of expansion of the university going on. There's a lot of new development going on, which is causing gentrification in my neighborhood. And because of this, they're like tax assessments every 6 months now, and people's taxes are going way up, and it shouldn't be, because of these developers. So basically, that's one of my reasons that I am running. But I'm also running because we have a lousy school system, and we have people. These developers are getting 10-year tax abatements from us, and aren't putting anything back in the community. And I don't think it's fair because this money for those abatements are coming out of our pockets. And these guys aren't giving anything back. So I'm running as a candidate to try to repeal this 10-year tax abatement against the developers and have them pay a sort of what you call a construction impact tax, where they pay every square foot, pay something every square foot. And this would go back to our housing trust funds, and it'll go back to our schools. Because I'm tired of going around actually saying, people always saying our school is a pipeline to prison. We need to change that. We need to make our schools a pipeline to college for those who want to go. And you have some that don't want to go, which I would like to implement, bringing back trade schools. And where when they graduate from high school, they can have a viable job, a livable wage job, because we don't have that. And we need that real bad.
Yeah. So tell us, a little bit about yourself, your professional background, your civic and community background, and how is that experience going to prepare you to be a city council member?
Well, like I said, my background is being born and raised in Philadelphia, being part of the neighborhood for one thing. I was an organizer, union organizer, before I retired, so I know a little bit about trying to get things done for the people. I am now a second chairperson of the 47th Ward in North Philadelphia, which is why what led me to run for candidacy, because you just see so much going on, and it's negative. Philadelphia is saying that they having this economic growth. Okay, we see it in Center City, but we don't see it in our neighborhoods. We don't see it in our communities. I mean, it just seems to be the opposite. Our neighborhoods are getting worse and worse. I'm all for development, but I'm also for them putting something back into our communities. We got so much going on. A lot of this development and property taxes going so high, people are losing their homes. You're forcing some people into homelessness, which begets violence, which we need to curb. And it's just a thing that if you were from my neighborhood, you would know what the struggle is as far as the people are concerned.
Yeah.
And we need to stop that. We need to stop stepping over our people. We need to hear their voices, and they need to be more accessible to things. We have programs two programs, I believe it is, for the Loop program, and we also have the Homestead program, which is supposed to cut the taxes. But you'd be surprised how many people in our communities don't know anything about this. That's supposed to be something that's known to everybody. And I wanted to say, a candidate is quick to send you mail to their homes about their candidacy running for office. But when it's time, when they should know about some things such as the Homestead program and such as the Loop program, they don't get that information. They have to find that out from somebody else. I mean, and I think everybody should know. I mean, these legislations should be accessible to our people, and it's not. And that's another reason I'm running.
Yeah. So for the folks at home, the homestead exemption and the loop program are both cushions against property taxes and the
Yes.
burden puts on homeowners. I believe that the homestead exemption uh, is a lot is available pretty broadly to
Yes.
anyone who owns a home. The loop program is specifically for long time homeowners. So with those two programs or perhaps others, what do you think should
They're good
change
programs.
to ensure that
But people should know more about them. Council should be more transparent as far as letting these people know about these things. Because, like I said, it's surprising that so many people don't know about it. And this is something that's been around for a while, especially the homestead program. The loop program is fairly new, but the homestead program has been around for years. And people, and you'd be surprised how many people don't know about it. And I think that's disturbing. Why don't they know these things? Why aren't they getting information from council about these things? I think council needs to be more transparent about their legislations and about what's going on with what's going on around the city, which the public should know about.
Yeah.
So basically, that's a thing that I'm a little perturbed about also.
Yeah. So you are no stranger to Philadelphia politics as well. A member of the 47th Ward,
47th Ward, yes.
up in North Philly, and obviously with their union background, have understand how our politics work. Generally speaking, with Philadelphia politics and our government, what do you think we should be talking about changing to make it work better? And by better, I think we're talking about making it more open, more transparent, more accessible.
Well, you said it right there. I think City Hall should be more transparent to the people. The people should know about things that are going on as far as legislations. They should be people should have access to all that, and they don't. So that's not transparency in City Hall. So, but that's something that should happen. They should be accessible to all this legislation, which they're not. And and a lot of times that's where a lot of people don't know what's going on as far as a lot of legislations as far as our developers. They don't know anything about the zoning or anything like that. And see, they should know about these type of things because their homes are at stake, and they should know about that, and they don't. So I think they should be a little more transparent about the things they do. I think there should be term limits because you got guys sitting there 30 years. I guess they're sitting on their laurels from things they did decades ago. Okay, what have you done for us lately? And I don't see anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like they say, Philadelphia is one of the 10 largest cities in the country, but we're number one in poverty. So, I mean, what are you showing me? You're showing me that everything is just, getting worse unless you pick that up. Get us up out of that number one in poverty level. Do something to help.
So as far as the typical citizen having a better idea of what's happening in City Hall, I get my sense is that most all council offices they have a pretty vigorous constituent services program, and if there's an issue that someone brings to their office, they try to troubleshoot it with them. As far as like folks being able to see and access the legislative process, what do you think should work differently there? I mean, there is a website where legislation is put up online, and of course the council meetings are all public meetings. But what could we do? And this could be a change in law. This could also be a bit of programming from city council or other organizations in town to expand the number of people in Philadelphia who understand what's happening in that building.
Well, they should have. To me, I feel as though they should have a liaison to the city or to the people because. All right, as far as transparency is concerned, I really don't see it. A lot of people would like to have access to a lot of things as far as legislation and other things in City Hall, but they don't have it. Excuse me if I sound nervous because I'm a little passionate about things, but yeah, they don't have it, and they need that access, to do things that's about laws that can help them. They need that access. I think they need more of a liaison to the people, but there's no liaison to the people because all I hear is, from my constituents is they go down to try to, get a hold of something, that's important to them as far as their homes and stuff like that. They get a lot of red tape. Okay, we need to cut the red tape. We need to be more transparent, as you said. We need to have liaisons to our communities, and we don't have that.
Gotcha. So let's shift over to the electoral process we have here in Philly. This is your first run for public office?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So no stranger to Philly politics, but first run for public office. What seems to have worked well or make sense to you as far as like running for public office goes? I mean, you had to go through the nomination petition process and get signatures from folks. You got a ballot position that was drawn randomly out of a coffee can. I mean, what do we have a good way of folks running for public office in Philadelphia, or should some things change?
Well, to me, it was very strenuous. The process of getting your candidacy together for office. I think this should be a more public led type election thing. First of all, you got to let the people be the people. Let the people do the voting. Stop. We have, I guess, what you call party bosses or what have you. Okay, we need to get them out of that picture where it could be more easy for the candidates themselves to be recognized or what have you. And you shouldn't have a what they call the being at the bottom of the ballot or what have you.
Right.
That ballot thing shouldn't be like the way it is.
We shouldn't have a system where like whatever ballot position you draw then has a big impact on your outcome.
On the outcome of the race. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. That's something that the Committee of 70 and others have been talking about more and more is whether you're running for city council or city commissioner or register of wills or judge for ballot position to have such big impact probably does not make a whole lot of sense. What about I realize this is largely outside the purview of city council, but our ward system plays a huge role in our elections here in Philly.
Yes, our wards play a huge role in getting the people elected.
Yeah.
We get out, in the wards we have our committeemen to get out the votes, and I believe we should have. I think as a ward we should have a bigger role. In playing in getting these votes out, getting these people that we choose for our ward for election. It should be like a lot of like I said, let the people vote.
Do you feel like at least in the 47th? I mean, do committee people get to hear from all the candidates and deliberate together on who gets endorsed?
Well, from my experience that I've, like I said, this is my first time running, but from my experience, we have a lot of concerned wards where we have candidates night and they have a forum for the candidates.
Right.
But a lot of our other wards, I don't know if it's the leaders of that ward or what. We don't hear anything from them. It's like it's like a dead island or something. I shouldn't say that, but that's what it's like. Because it seems like the people aren't really interested. And I think the ward should build that interest in the people to vote. But you have everybody people that want to vote. They want to vote, but you have to build the interest to get them to want to come out and say, okay, enough is enough. Let me get out here and vote. And you don't have that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of these.
Yeah. I mean, I hear a lot of folks talk about what an asset the ward system is that we have here. I mean, it's a very old structure, and most cities don't have it. But this is an old city. We have kind of an old political structure. And I think there's some good things about the ward system. But it can be a great way to engage voters, engage committee people who are neighborhood part of officials, right? As long as just like city council or any other part of government, it should be an open and accessible system, not one that's closed and run by a few
by a few people. Because I feel like I'm talking to a committeeman here. Where's the people? Where are the people? Why aren't they in there also? This is how it is at some of these meetings. You just have the ward leader, the committee people, and and it's like they're the ones deciding for the people.
Yeah.
I mean, you need the people in there to hear the candidates, to hear what the issues are, and let them decide from there. But it's not like that with all of them.
No, it's certainly different across the city.
Yes.
So we're just about out of time. I'll give you the last word here. What's the one thing voters need to keep in mind about you for Election Day next month?
Well, they need to keep in mind that I've been through the struggle. I know what's going on. I personally have, going through the property tax issue, where my property taxes have been raised. It's skyrocketed. And the thing is with me also, I'm just Joe Average. I'm not a politician. I'm just here to try to get things right for our communities. And we need to do this now. And on May 21st, if you push button number 75, 75 on the ballot, I promise I'll be that transparent person in council that you need. And I thank you in advance for your votes.
All right. Mark Ross, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
For the folks at home, Election Day is May 21st. Look through Mark's background as a candidate and all the others at 70's Nonpartisan Voter Guide at ballot.70.org. You can also download our Revote app wherever you download your apps at home. All the resources you could possibly need to be ready to vote on Election Day. I thank you to Thomas Skelton Harrison for providing the funding to make these broadcasts possible.
Thank you.
Take care. See you on Election Day.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.